Welcome everyone, this is Honest Restart, and this time we're talking about the implications of Min Min's inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What does having Min Min as the first challenger in Fires Pass Volume 2 mean for the other potential challengers for this DLC? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we do, I want to put out a couple of disclaimers. One, I am recording this in not my normal location in case you can't tell. I went away for Father's Day, I'm on vacation. So I brought my computer stuff because I still want to make videos, but the sound may sound a little different. There's not much soundproofing, so please excuse that. Hopefully it's not too bad. But besides that, I also want to talk about my social media. There's a Twitter page, a Discord community, a Patreon page, and a Twitch channel. If you are interested in any of that, please check it all out. It is linked in the description below. But now let's talk about Min Min from ARMS making it in to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Volume 2 of the Fires Pass. I am really excited about this character. Sure, my initial prediction was that it would include Min Min, but also somehow it would be like a hero-like situation where we would get Ninjara, Springman, and Ribbon Girl. That was my hope, and I thought there was potentially a chance there, but I also agreed that if there was just going to be one character, Min Min would probably be the best bet. So that's what happened. We got one character, it was not a hero situation, and it was Min Min, and I have to say that I am pretty excited with how it came out. I think by focusing on one character, they were able to really focus on her abilities and make it more interesting. Like with the whole Dragon Arm, that is something that might not have really worked out if they had gone in the direction of trying to make it like a hero situation and make all 4 different ARMS characters work together as one. I like what they did, and I also think it's cool that we finally got a dedicated female character in the DLC. We haven't gotten one yet, and now we have one with Min Min, and I think she's awesome. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing in terms of what she can do with her constant range attacks and her up B and her ability to dive constantly. It does kind of remind me of what you can do with Mr. Game & Watch with his up B and then shooting down with the key. There's a lot more maneuverability in the air that way, and it's looking like Min Min will have that option, but also will have great range attacks, and I think that's going to be right up my alley, so I'm definitely excited for Min Min to play as her when she comes out at the end of the month. But what's really exciting about Min Min, beyond Min Min, which is awesome, is what this may mean for the rest of the DLC. So during the presentation, Sakurai talked a little bit about why Min Min was a character chosen from ARMS to be the challenger. And he basically said it was purely because Yabuki wanted Min Min to be in, and that was pretty much it. He then went on to talk a little bit about why it wasn't Springman who was a main character for ARMS, and it was explained that in ARMS, all of the characters are considered to be main characters. Now, you may consider that a bit of a cop-out, and either way, I would say that in this case, Min Min would be the exception. All the other DLC fighters were the main characters for their series. It could mean that moving forward, there could be another exception, and not the main character from their respective series will be a part of the next DLC characters. But point is that usually it's going to be the main character, so that's usually a safe bet, but in this case, Min Min was the exception, and she was the character put in. And of course, she was a very popular character that a lot of people wanted, and in terms of her abilities, she provides some very interesting options, so she was definitely a really good fit. Now, as I said earlier, I really liked the idea of somehow getting Springman and Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, and Min Min all as one character in a hero-like situation, because it would be an example of assist trophies and Mii costumes getting the upgrade to actually being a DLC fighter. That did not happen. But what did happen, though, was that we got an example of a main character not being the next DLC challenger as the rest of the DLC for Smash Ultimate has been, but also, there were 5 ARMS spirits in Smash Ultimate already. Springman, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Twintel, and Min Min. Yes, that's right. We have conclusive proof now that spirits do not deconfirm characters. In other words, other spirits that are in the game could very well at some point get the upgrade and become playable DLC characters. So no more can you say there is no hope for Rex and Pyra, there's no hope for Gino, there's no hope for Shantae. These characters are spirits, and they could very well get the upgrade at some point as well. I think there's definitely a chance of that. Now, I know some people are going to feel the need to mention that Rex is a Mii costume, not a spirit, so he could still be quote-unquote deconfirmed, but that's a whole other argument for another time. Point is, spirits can happen, and I don't think assist trophies or Mii costumes are out of the question either. It's just that we haven't seen that with this current set of DLC yet. And I think the real point to be made here is that there's a lot of possibilities for what the characters can be. Min Min was an exception to the rule of there always needing to be a main character. She was a spirit. These were things that people assumed could not be changed, it could not be broken. There aren't actually any hard rules. So the next character could be another character that may go against what we think makes sense, but that could totally happen. It really just depends. And I want to say that I'm pretty happy as a Nintendo fan that we've gotten back-to-back Nintendo characters for the Smash Ultimate DLC. We got Byleth from Fire Emblem, and now we got Min Min from ARMS, and I think there could definitely be more in the second Fires Pass. I'm definitely thinking the second Fires Pass is going to have more Nintendo characters than the first one. But I'll say I don't have any conclusive proof suggesting one way or the other. There could be more third-party characters, there could be more Nintendo characters, we do not really know. But I'll argue that with the recent characters we got in the Smash Ultimate DLC, we've also been getting Mii costumes, and we've been getting special Mii costumes more recently. We got the Cuphead one, and now we just got Vault Boy. And these are characters that aren't just like your traditional Mii costumes, they look like the actual character, and they come with some music as well. So these Mii costume packages are more special than prior Mii costume packages. They actually look like the character, and they come with music, which goes beyond all other Mii costumes. We got Sans, and then we got Cuphead, and now we have Vault Boy. All of these characters are very popular third-party characters that people argued should be in Smash Bros. And they didn't quite make the cut as playable characters, but this is the next best thing. But I think it should be noted that while this may be great, these are all third-party characters. Maybe with this second Fires Pass, Nintendo's gonna have more of these third-party awesome Mii costume characters, but the actual main DLC will be more focused on Nintendo characters. But this is just my personal speculation. It may not go that way, however, I think it's important for Nintendo to come up with a set of characters that will sell really well. And Super Smash Bros. Is a big Nintendo game that's mostly played and enjoyed by Nintendo fans, so I think it makes a lot of sense for them to have characters that are appreciated by the Nintendo fan base. If it's entirely third-party characters, characters are played by non-Nintendo fans more often, then maybe there's not as much sales potential there. And with the second set of the DLC, there's less people who are more likely to buy it. As time goes on with the DLC, less and less people will buy it. That's just the way it goes. So I think it makes a lot of sense for Nintendo and the Smash team to be very careful about which characters they pick to make sure they can maximize potential sales. So focusing on Nintendo characters that Nintendo fans want, I think is definitely a good way to go about it. Now, it doesn't mean that there can't be some big third-party characters. I think they will be, but they have to be big, they have to be valuable, and that's really the main sticking point here. The third-party characters we do get this time around, I think, are going to be big deals, and they may not be as divisive as, say, for example, Terry Bogard, which I do think is a great character, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely some debate about it, there's a lot of backlash about it. So it wouldn't shock me if with the second Fires Pass it's going to be a little bit more focused on Nintendo characters, characters that most of the Nintendo community is a fan of, but also big third-party characters that even Nintendo fans could definitely get behind. What could those characters be? Well, there are a few I have in mind that would be pretty darn awesome. Sora from Kingdom Hearts is a great example, or perhaps Doom Guy from Doom, that would also be a really cool character to see. And I'll point out that Vault Boy is a Bethesda character, so maybe there is more going on here and we will see something else from Bethesda making the Super Smash Bros. Or maybe Vault Boy is the extent of the talk between Nintendo and Bethesda in terms of Smash involvement. That could be the case, but we'll have to wait and see. So to sum up the implications of the Min Min presentation, I think what it suggests is that spirits do not deconfirm, so if there's a spirit in the game right now that you would love to see as a DLC fighter someday, there's a chance. And it's also now becoming a trend of us getting those special Mii characters. We got Sans, we got Cuphead, now we got Vault Boy. What's next? There's going to be more there, I think, and that's also going to be exciting to see. And this part's a little bit more subjective, in my opinion, with what we've seen with the Mii costumes and such, and because it's the second set of DLC for Smash Ultimate, I think it's more likely we're going to be seeing more Nintendo characters, but there will still be some really cool big third-party characters. I could be wrong, it could end up being more third-party characters as opposed to Nintendo characters, but from my perspective, I'm thinking that there will be more Nintendo characters, actual first-party characters, compared to the first set of DLC, and there will be less third-party ones. Maybe we get 2 or 3 big third-party characters and 3 or 4 first-party characters. And that's how I'm sort of anticipating things going. If I had to just put out a set of characters that I think kind of makes sense, maybe we get Geno, Sora, and Doom Guy, but we also get Rex and Pyra, and maybe Sags from Metroid. Those are some options that maybe could work out pretty well, but of course there's a whole bunch of possibilities, so I'm really curious what you guys think as well, so let me know in the comments below. Anyways everyone, this is Honest Restart, thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care.